The metaverse is discovering the Americas again, or even a new solar system. What you're doing, if you think of the world as constrained by its own GDP, because of humans, productivity, resources, the metaverse has none of that. So there is a possibility that the metaverse allows us, people, to earn incomes in a world free of the constraints, free of the debt shackle, in this new world of crypto that allows us to create our own worlds in the way that we want it. And they are kind of, if you go to its logical conclusion, it's kind of, we create our own fake world however we want it to be. And you can live in whatever world you want. Like you and I will live in different online worlds. You'll be on, one social media site. I'll be in the other. We'll be reading different articles. We live in different worlds already.
Right.
Our worlds overlap quite a lot, but we live in different worlds.
Yeah.
But sooner or later, I can be in a room with different people.
Right.
And they can be all around the world. And they can all be all like-minded, which creates all this splits and a realignment of what states are. And this whole thing of this fourth turning is we're going to a very, very different world, much like the post-British Empire world was very different to that world.
Right.
So the question you and I need to think about is, okay, a full immersive metaverse experience is 15, 20 years away. Now, the metaverse is not one place. It's not one thing. Right. I think of it as like this digital fluidity where we can move around, we do our things. Yeah. We live in the real world, in this digital world, augmented reality, virtual reality. That's all coming. We know that. How the hell do you stop this holing out of people in the meantime? And this is the story now of, I think, and this is really contentious, I think that central bank digital currencies are going to give governments an opportunity to fiscally stimulate in a way that's more fair. Because I think they can therefore put money in the right people. We have to go towards a UBI world, whether we like it or not, until we can replace that income by metaverse and other income. We're seeing it. People are earning money in Axie Infinity. There's stuff going on. Yeah. We're just not there yet. How do we get through this next 15 years, right? That's what I'm really worried about. This next 15, 20 years is about as hard as it comes. Mm-hmm. We're going to have deflationary forces on a gigantic scale. Jobs are going to be replaced. We've got debasement of currency going on. We've got the battle of getting crypto mainstream, that governments don't over-regulate it, and all of the things we've got. We've got 20 years of a battle here. Because let's assume, as you and I have, that debasement is accepted. That is the only answer they've got, and it's going to keep going, right? So how do you stop the people revolting? Right. You have to give them money.
Right.
Right? And this is why the progressive left is going to be hard to beat. Because regardless of your political affiliation or your economic affiliation,
populism,
you've got 86 million millennials who are pissed at what's happened, and they tend to be more progressive in their attitude.
Right.
And they want the rights that their parents got, which is the rights of the American dream. The baby boomers never got it in the end. They kind of destroyed it all. Yeah. But so they are going to force, by voting power, progressive policies. And again, whether anybody likes it or not, because the nostalgia of the 1950s, of the current structure of the right, doesn't play to the young.
Right.
The 1950s is like talking about the 1920s boom time to you and I. I mean, it's nothing. It's something we see in films or read in a book, like The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. While the baby boomers, they were in their teens. It was Elvis Presley and rock and roll and the Beatles, and they want to go back to that. Of course they do. Everybody wants to go back to their teens, right? So I think that is likely to come, and I think that's the big fourth turning change that happens, that everybody shifts left. But the sooner we all start migrating, which you and I did a while ago, the easier it becomes to see that the emperor's got no clothing, the easier it is to realize, stop waiting for the big bang. Understand what the game is. The game is not what you want it to be. The game is what it is. And you have to play the game you're given.
Well said.
Too many people spend so long angry that the game is not being played as they want it to be.
Right.
Nobody cares. Right? This is why everybody imposes their politics on everything. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
The game is what's being served to you. You deal with that.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.